What's up? What's up? How are you, solar family? How are you doing? Hopefully, you're doing amazing. Just got off our solar sales boot camp. It was a 5-day boot camp, and we're actually hosting another one on the 28th. So, if you want to jump in and get registered, it's absolutely free to join the boot camp. I share with you everything I know that I use and teach my students on how to close these solar deals online. It's 5 days straight. It was fun. It was good times, and we're seeing so many results already from people that joined us and people that just joined the training. And there's so many folks that are plugging in. Is that, hey, I tried this, I used this, I implemented that, and I'm actually getting results. We have one boot camp student, Ronnie is his name. He used one of our strategies 2 days ago, as far as like getting the buy-ins, and he closed a 12.8 kilowatt system. 12.8 kilowatt system. We had another boot camp student today. His name is Glenn. He used one of our strategies on how to present the electric bill to the homeowner and drill in the pain, and it helped them close a deal as well. So register for the boot camp. There's the link. It's absolutely free to join the boot camp. The next one is starting Monday, September 28th. Monday, September 28th. And we go live, or I go live every single day. And I share with you step by step the systems, the methodologies, and how to close deals online. And on Friday, we have a special bonus on Friday. I'm not going to ruin the bonus here, but plug in every day during the boot camp, but don't miss Friday. Friday is an amazing day. And if you guys can hear my kids are screaming and yelling, it's all good. It's all good. How's everybody doing? Happy Friday. Let me know where you're coming in from. If you're watching it live, say what's up. Say hello. If you're watching me on a replay, say what's up. Say hello. Anyways, let me know. Represent your town. How are you? Super excited. So the reason for the live on Fridays is to answer any questions that you have, whether it's sales, whether it's marketing. So if you know anyone that can benefit from this live stream, maybe they just got started in industry. If you have questions with sales, marketing, things of that nature, company, like what's the best company to work with, what's the best compensation, things of that nature, I would love to plug in and answer any questions you guys may have. So this Ask James Friday live can last 5 minutes, or it can be an hour long, right? It kind of just depends on who plugs in. But my commitment to you is I plug in every Friday, and whoever needs help, I'm here to help. That's my my commitment to you. What's going on? Shafi 1205, how are you? Anna, how are you? We're on a sales trip in Mexico right now. Love your videos. Thank you. If there's a typical warranty coverage or inverters, just in general. It all depends. Anna, it all depends. She's talking about the warranties. I'm jealous. They're out in Mexico right now having some fun. Super jealous. But as far as the warranties and the guarantees, whether that's equipment, whether that's labor, whether that's workmanship, it all depends on the solar company that you're working with. There's a variation. So, for example, for the equipment, it could range from 20 to 25 years, all the way up to 30 years. And some cover the labor warranty, some don't. Obviously, the warranty always covers the equipment. But as far as the term, how long that is, I'm not sure. It all depends on the solar company. It ranges from 20 to 25 years. There's also a workmanship warranty. That's basically penetrations and roof leaks and things of that nature. That ranges as well. That's a wide range. I mean, it could range from 5, 10, 15, all the way up to 30 years. And again, it all depends on the solar company you're working with, and also if they have a third-party warranty provider. That's all going to dictate how much warranty the homeowner is going to get. The best I've seen in the industry right now is a 30-year warranty, 30-year equipment, 30-year labor, 30-year workmanship, which is pretty cool, which is a big selling point for the homeowner, right? Because it's guaranteed. Their system is guaranteed for the next 30 years, which is amazing. Gives the homeowner a peace of mind that whatever happens to the system over the next 30 years, everything is covered. What's up? What's up? How are you, Kyle? That's an easier way to say that. I don't want to butcher your YouTube profile name. Located in Florida. What's up? What's up, Kyle? How are you? New to solar since June. Haven't made a sale yet. Well, you're here. You're in the right place. You're in the right place, Kyle. I'm here to answer any questions that you have. Anna, Kyle, and folks that are plugging in right now, make sure to join the boot camp, especially if you're new in the industry. And even if you're a seasoned veteran, if you want to learn more skills and how to close deals, I share everything I know in the boot camp, right? It's a 5-day boot camp. It's live. We just ended one today. It was all week long. And it's me personally live going in and feeding to you and teaching you the sales strategies, methodologies that actually works so you can actually beat your competition as well. So I'm going to post the link there again. You guys can register for that. It's absolutely free. It's absolutely free to join the boot camp. My goal and my intention is to help as many people as I can close solar deals. That's my goal. And that boot camp is absolutely free. You can go ahead and click that link. 5daybootcamp.com, 5daybootcamp.com. And we're going to pour in everything I know as far as closing deals during that live boot camp. It's absolutely free. The next one starts September 28th, all week long till October 2nd. Super excited for the next boot camp. I'm brand new with door-to-door knocking. What's the best advice for new guys like us? Yeah, so my advice to you, if you're knocking on doors right now, and I told you probably, see my kids, they're crying. They're crying, probably punching each other right now. But anyways, back to solar. My advice to new folks, especially if you're canvassing, I mean, canvassing works. And don't get me wrong, it definitely will, it converts. Eventually, you're going to make some sales. But think about, other strategies, online strategies, which is expert positioning, how to position yourself as a solar celebrity. Obviously, that's a brand that you're going to create. But think about an exit plan while you're continuing to knock on doors, right? Because knocking on doors is going to be the fastest way for you to generate income. Because creating a brand, which I highly stress to everyone, to create a brand eventually, it's going to take a little bit of time. So in the meantime, while you're creating your brand, you can still put food on the table. Because if you drop everything right now, you're like, I'm going to create a brand. I'm going to jump on YouTube or Facebook and I'm run ads. More than likely, you may run out of money, right? Before you start getting some conversions. So continue to knock on doors right now. Suck it up for a little while. Maybe you love it. I'm not sure. For me personally, when I first got started, it wasn't the best thing for me. I have a vision of scalability. I always wanted to grow and how can I scale? And I knew the door-to-door strategy wasn't a strategy for me to scale. So that's why I took it all online. But again, it's not for everyone. It's only for folks that eventually want to take it to the next level, right? And again, continue to knock on doors, continue to go to these events that you guys are going to. And then from there, as you guys are starting to make commissions, as your bank account starts getting bigger, I would start investing in yourself to take courses. And also, once you take courses, implement a strategy that you learn, whether it's from us, whether from somebody else, and then run ads, right? That's the best way to do it. Instead of you having to knock on doors, meaning that you have to go to them. When you create a personal brand and you're running ads, homeowners come to you, right? It's a different strategy. Tell us a little bit about the best first questions at the door. Is it Kyle or Shafi 1205? I'm not the best person to ask questions at the door, right? My door time, my canvassing time is literally about 2 hours. That's when I started about eight years ago. My boss asked me to go, knock on doors because I ran out of my warm market leads, basically my friends and family. So I did it for 2 hours and I knew right away for myself that it wasn't for me. Even though I know a lot of consultants in the industry that's doing amazing just by knocking on doors, right? They're making, six figures, multiple six figures a year just by canvassing and knocking on doors. But it just wasn't my preference. I mean, it wasn't my style. I knew there had to be a way to scale it, and I knew there has to be a way, or had to be a way, to do everything online. And keep in mind, this is almost 8 years ago, right? My journey is totally different than a lot of you folks here. I've been in solar for the last 8 years, right? So the starting point is go generate some revenue. And the fastest way to generate revenue is to go knock on doors. But secondly, not only, generate revenue, you gotta make sure that you're actually plugged in with the right commission, the right company, because I see folks out there that's knocking on doors that actually spins their wheels because, they have the skill to knock on doors. They got an okay company to work with, but their commission structure is not that bad, not that good. So for example, right? So a few folks that I spoke to a couple of weeks ago, they're canvassers, they're new, and they like the company that they're working with, and they didn't mind knocking on doors. But every deal that they close, they're only making like, I think it ranged from $1,500 to $2,000, and that's just not a powerful commission structure, right? Ideally, you want to make some really good income, right? You want to make, $1 a watt or close to $1 a watt, and if you're not making that now, make sure you reach out to us, right? And again, this is my advice to folks that are canvassing right now. And this is not a recruiting event, right? I just want to share with you guys the truth. When you're canvassing, and maybe your boss is going to tell you, hey, after a certain amount of time, after a certain amount of deals that you close with us, we're going to promote you. But keep in mind, a lot of that stuff is a far-fetched dream, because what we've seen in the industry is solar companies are promising, we'll eventually promote you after you close X amount of deals. But next thing you know that, you start hitting that milestone, you start closing the deals that they want you to close to be promoted. And then next thing you know, they don't promote you, right? Because in the solar company's eyes, why would they promote you? If you're a good canvasser, it's very hard to find good canvassers. And if you're really good at it, more than likely, they won't promote you. You're going to be upset. You're going to be like, forget this, right? So make sure that, you have a really good relationship with a company that they are going to promote you. But if you're looking to be promoted today, instead of waiting, 3, 4, 5 months, or waiting until you close 10, 15, 20 deals, make sure you book a solar strategy call. And we would love to talk to you as well to expedite your career, right? Because we see it happen so many times over and over again when solar companies are giving these false dreams, and setting these false expectations. And when the canvasser actually meets it or hits the targets, these goals that the solar companies are setting for the consultants, they just string you along, right? Unfortunately. So if you want to dive in deeper, make sure you schedule a solar strategy call, solarstrategycall.com. I actually post that as well. Hold on one second. If you guys want to dive in deeper, book a call with us. It's absolutely free. I'd love to jump on a call with you, explain to you a little bit more as far as what I'm talking about, right? Damien, what's up, Damien? How are you? What's your advice on trying to sell a home with a poor or lower solar offset? How do you create that value? Yeah, that's a good question. But at the end of the day, the homeowner coming in to the new home, we don't necessarily know their electric bill, right? So for example, it may be undersized right now for a family of 5, but if a family of 3, right, a husband, a wife, and 1 kid purchases the home, and that's less than the 5 that currently occupies the home with the lower offset, that may just be enough, right? That may just be enough for the new homeowners. But it all depends. I mean, it's one of those things that the realtor has to have a good marketing plan, right? Because at the end of the day, the folks that are coming into the new house, they don't know nothing about offset, right? They just know, you know what? There's solar on the house, which is the plus, that they can actually add on to the house as additional value. But yeah, it's just one of those things that the realtor has to know how to market the solar panels, regardless of what the offset is, right? Because even right now, Title 24, right, with new homes, every new home in California has to have solar panels on them. And keep in mind that they're selling these new construction with solar panels on it. They don't know if it's a family of 5, a family of 2, a family of 10, right? So they're just putting some generic solar panel system size up there, and it's up to the homeowner to upgrade in the future. So that's another thing too. The new homeowner that comes into the house, if it's still underproducing, they could always upgrade, right? We can always add more solar panels. But if it's already undersized and they're trying to sell the home, you have to get a good realtor to market the solar panels properly. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense, Damon. Ashley, how are you? What is your approach to what are you selling? Are you talking about at the door? What are you selling, or you're calling somebody? What are you selling? I'm assuming you're either cold calling or knocking on the door, right? But at the end of the day, we are not selling anything, as you already know, right? If it's a door pitch, I'm not the guy to go to. I'm not the best door guy. But book a call with us, and I would love to point you in the right direction. I know a bunch of folks that are trainers, coaches in the industry as far as canvassing, and they're the ones to reach out to as far as like canvassing tips. You know what I mean? But as far as like, what are you selling? I mean, we're not selling anything. We're, giving you an option to switch over to cleaner, lower cost energy if you qualify. All I need is a copy of your electric bill, right? Not every home is going to qualify for this program, but we're going around the neighborhood to see who qualifies for it, right? You may be the lucky person that qualifies for this program. If you do, that's great. We'll show you how to get started. But the first thing that I need is a copy of your electric bill. That's how I would approach it. Obviously, like I said, I'm not a canvassing guy. But just off the cuff, that's how I would approach it, Ashley. Does that make sense? King of Vegas, what's going on? What's going on? Damien, I'm doing a consultation, and the solar offset is poor for the homeowner. How do you build the value with a homeowner's offset that is low? Great question. Great question. So you're talking about, say, for example, you go inside the home, maybe they don't have enough roof space, right? And you're only able to offset like 75% or like, say, 50% of your energy bill. At the end of the day, what you really need to stress, and obviously you already got a game plan, right? This is what I stress to all of our students. You have an advantage, meaning that you actually can see the proposal, the energy savings report before you walk in a house. So if for Damon's situation, if the system is only offsetting 50%, you're going to have to pivot, right? Because there's not a big savings there, but you need to really stress on locking in your rates. Hey, Damon, would it be nice to lock in 50% of your energy bill, right? Would you rather have 100% of your energy bill go up or just 50%, right? Unfortunately, Mr. and Mrs. Smith or Damon, unfortunately, we would love to offset 100% of your energy, but considering blah, 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 whatever that is, right? ... kind of thing. Because I'm not sure what your situation is. Maybe there's not enough roof space. I'm not sure if you already maximized the wattage of the solar panels. Normally, if you want to offset 100%, you don't have enough roof space and you only can offset like 75%, you need to bump up the offset, right? I mean, excuse me, the wattage of the panels. Get some higher wattage panels. But for whatever reason, you already got the highest wattage panels, then that's what you need to let the homeowner know. Hey, Mr. and Ms. Smith, depending on, regardless who you go with, whether it's myself or any other solar companies, we can only offset X amount of your energy. So let me ask you this, even though I understand that you want to offset 100% of your energy, but would it be nice if you qualify it, takeaway, if you qualify, wouldn't it be nice to lock in 75% of your energy? Meaning that 75% of your energy is never going to go up ever again. Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure, Damon, that you'd rather have 75% of your energy locked in than 100% of it going up. And you just sit tight and wait and listen to what they say. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Ashley, yeah, so reach out to us. We'd love to point you in the right direction. SolarStrategyCall.com. There's a link right there. SolarStrategyCall.com. Make sure that you reach out to us. I would love to point you in the right direction. I'm not a canvasser. I literally knocked 2 hours of my whole entire career in the solar industry. I've been in solar for the last 8 years, and 2 hours of that is canvassing. The rest of it is online marketing. The rest of it is spending a lot of money on Facebook ads, coaches. To be more exact, it was about $30,000 like 7.5 years ago, almost 8 years ago. For me personally, I haven't stepped foot inside a homeowner's house for the last 6.5, almost 7 years now. And I've been in solar for the last 8. I've been doing everything online just like this via Zoom. Back then, it was GoToMeeting. That's how I close deals these days, and that's what I teach all my students. And if you're completely new, even if you're a seasoned veteran, I invite you to the boot camp that we're having. It's absolutely free. It's a 5-day live boot camp. Obviously, we stream it live. It's not necessarily technically live or literally live. It's a live online training, right, with me personally. So if you guys haven't registered for it yet, I'm going to post a link right here. Make sure you guys log into it and register. Absolutely free, especially if you're new in the industry. Plug in. Hey, what's up, Steven? How are you? What's up, Steve? How often do you promote battery? For me personally, I don't promote battery, right? I know there's a lot of folks that's promoting battery every single deal that they have. Maybe they're removing it to show a lesser amount for the solar payments. It's a sales strategy I see a lot of folks are doing. But for me personally, if they had net metering and they're saving money with net metering and they're not necessarily asking me for battery storage, I don't bring it up, right? I leave it out. And obviously, more and more homes that are moving forward solar nowadays, especially after COVID, we're not even after yet, during COVID, a lot more homeowners are moving forward with batteries because they're just getting afraid, right? It's like the uncertainty. And obviously 2020, there's a lot of uncertainties. So to prevent the uncertainty of your energy ever going out, a lot more homeowners are moving forward with a battery storage, even if it bumps up their bill a little bit. But as for me personally, I do a discovery and I see where the homeowner is at, see if they even care about the battery, see if they, see how many times the power actually goes out in their local market. And if it only goes out like 3 or 4 times out of the year, I don't think a $15,000 hardware is worth it just for peace of mind. Does that make sense, everyone? A $15,000 hardware sitting outside for 3 or 4 days just for peace of mind, I don't think it's worth it. But again, that's just my personal professional opinion. And I do whatever the homeowner wants, right? Hopefully, Steve, that makes sense. Damien, how do you explain the ITC to a customer? I try to keep it short and simple, not to confuse the customer, but I feel like it could be better. It depends on what your pitch is, right? I flow right into it. I say, Mr. Smith, there is a federal tax credit that you can qualify for. I'm not saying you will, you can qualify for it, right? So there's 2 things that you can do with a federal tax credit, Mr. Smith, and I'll show you both ways. Most homeowners, what they do is they apply the federal tax credit into the solar system. If you decide to do that, then your payments remain the same, right? And you know what the payments is. For example, if it's $100 within, the second month to the 18th month, if it's $100, I let them know it's going to stay at $100. But if you decide not to apply the federal tax credit, Mr. Smith, I unclick the button. We have a little check mark that unclicks the ITC credit. Then it bumps up the payments a bit. Then I go over that payment. And I say, does that make sense, Damon? And then from there, I move on. Does that make sense? I don't marinate there. I don't sit there. I don't talk about it too much. I've already disclosed, what can happen if and when he or she decides to apply or not apply the federal tax credit. I've done my job. I'm not here to disqualify you. I'm not a tax accountant, but I'm here to inform you what most people do with a tax credit if they qualify for it. And, if you don't qualify for it or you decide not to apply it, this is the new cost. Does that make sense? Yes. Great. Move on. If you stutter, if you wait there, they're going to come up with so many more objections. And again, it's not our job to pre-qualify you whether or not you qualify for the federal tax credit. It's my job to disclose to you. It's your job to do your vetting, to talk to your tax accountant to make sure that you qualify for it. Does that make sense? How many states have you sold deals in? A lot of states. I mean, over the last 8 years, I know a lot. It's not a number. Probably at least 15 states. That don't sound like a lot, but this is what I tell my students as well. We can sell in over 28, almost 30 states, right? To keep it simple. We can sell in almost 30 states. But I don't recommend anybody to sell in all 30 states because there's so many nuances, utility rates, time of use, little SRECs and little nuances that you can't necessarily know for every single utility company. So my suggestion is focus on like 2 states. And then within these 2 states, focus on maybe like 3 or 4 utility companies. master those utility companies. And then from there, you can add more and more states and more utility companies, right? Because every single utility company is going to be different. Some have time of use, some has, tiered systems, some don't have net metering. And it's very difficult, even if your company sells in all these states, it's very difficult to keep up with all the different nuances as far as utility rates, right? Net metering and things of that nature. The fees, there's certain fees. If they oversize the system, 12 kilowatts, there's a certain fee in certain states. So it makes it very, very difficult for you to really educate the homeowner with the right information. And again, master a few, states, few utility companies first. And then from there, start branching out and adding more and more utility companies to your arsenal. Does that make sense? Awesome. Thanks, Damon. Hopefully that makes sense, man. Again, if you guys haven't registered for the 5-day boot camp, it's absolutely free. You're going to have me live. We just ended one about an hour ago. It's a 5-day live solar sales boot camp where I pour in everything I know. I teach you everything that I know as far as closing deals, objections, and we also dive into a special training on Friday. So it starts September 28th. Make sure you register for it, September 28th. Tori, I want to work with your company, but the agent that called me had no idea what he was talking about. Wow, that blows my mind. Because I train these guys myself, so if they don't know what I'm talking about, it's a reflection of me. I'll take responsibility of that. So, Tori, do me a favor. Can you do me a favor? Email support@solaruniversity.com. Tell them to get on my calendar. Support@Solar University. University spelled YOUNIVERSITY. University, YOU, right? University.com. And I would love to jump on the phone with you. And I totally apologize, Tori, if my guys didn't know what they're talking about. I'll take responsibility of that, right? Any other questions? And again, make sure you guys register for the boot camp. It's absolutely free. What's up, George? How are you, buddy? Do your customers say much about how they feel about doing the whole buying process online versus having people come to their door? No, they don't. It's all how you set it up, right? So for example, right? And this can work either way, whether you got a canvassing team or whether you're setting appointments yourself. Because at the end of the appointment, right, you guys probably set the stage, right? Hey, I'll be back this Friday at 5 p.m. work for you. I'll come back with an energy savings report to see if you qualify to present you all the information. So it's just the call to action in the end, right? Whether you're at the door, whether you're on the phone, whether it's a sales team or, whether it's a setting team, which sets appointments for you. The call to action is just different. We just let them know, hey, for your convenience, Mr. Smith, I know, it's weird times right now. And for your protection, what we're going to do is we're going to set this whole meeting up via online, right? And you got to make it seem like, well, it is for their convenience, also for you, right? For your protection, Mr. Smith, what we're doing and what separates us from everybody else, right? It's another pitch you guys can use at the door. What separates us, and this is what we teach our Solar University students, what separates us, Mr. Smith, from all the other solar companies is we actually do this online for your protection. We respect you. We respect your family. At the end of the day, we just want to make sure that you guys are safe. So what we're going to do is I'm going to book this consultation via online meeting. That's Friday at 5 p.m. work for you. Yes, it does. Great. See you then. Does that make sense, George? If you make it seem like it's for them, it's for their convenience. And the next objection is, hey, I'm not tech savvy. Right? I'm not tech savvy. We get the older folks, not tech savvy. I'm not either. The great thing in Mr. Smith, let me ask you this. You have an email? Yes, I do. Great. Do you know how to click a link in that email? Yes, I do. Great. So that's all the tech savviness that you need, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Right? That's it. Right? So that's answered the objection. I'm not tech savvy. I don't know how to do this tech stuff. Right? You got an email? Yeah. You know how to click a link in an email? Yeah, great. That's all you need. Right? Does that make sense, everyone? Does that make sense? And if you know anybody else, maybe you work for a sales organization, maybe you got colleagues and friends that's also in the solar industry, make sure you should share this video, share that link with them, 5daybootcamp.com, 5daybootcamp.com. These are the things that we talk about, just like what the demonstration I'm talking to you guys about, George. That's what we talk about. Awesome, Steve. Awesome. Super excited for all you folks that registered for the boot camp. Again, if you want to level up your sales and you want to level up your marketing, join the boot camp. It's absolutely free. Damien, when selling a solar loan and the customer sees the loan amount for the astronomical amount like $60,000, what will you say to them when they say much? Great question, Damien. And these are the things that we address, right? Because it's all about providing value. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard me before, right? Value, 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 value. So, Damien, what are you doing to provide value before you show them the actual price, right? There's so many value. There's so many mind psychology that you actually need to deliver, right? NLP, right? So many buy-ins. What is the emotional anchor? Are you anchoring an emotional anchor during your consultation before you pitch them the price? Because at the end of the day, you know, a $60,000 system is expensive relative to what? Because I'm pretty sure if I got a price, got a quote on the utility lines right out here, that's probably going to be billions of dollars. So relative to what, right? Because at the end of the day, it's just one of those things that is just enough value. Because if you can outweigh the value, right? If you had a little, what is that, a pendulum or a teeter-totter, right? Let's do teeter-totter. I don't think it's a pendulum. Teeter-totter, right? That kids sit on. If you have it even, right? And one side here is the cost, and the other side here is the value, right? If the value outweighs the cost, it's going to tip over. Actually, this way, right? It's going to tip over. So it makes it more a no-brainer. And I hear this all the time with folks that are getting started in the industry. Solar is a no-brainer. Yes, it is a no-brainer after you have a solid consultation, right? You're not winging it. I'm letting you guys know right now, the ones that are starting out in this solar industry, you cannot wing it in this industry. It doesn't matter if you've been selling cars for the last 50 years. It doesn't matter if you've been selling timeshare for the last 10 years. There is a system, a methodology in how to close solar, just like there is for other markets. And for you trying to wing it and try to piecemeal it together, it's not going to work. You're going to lose so many more jobs. You are going to close some deals, but you're also going to lose a lot more than you're going to actually close. So might as well learn a proven strategy to close deals rather than trying to wing it. And that's what we go over during the boot camp, right? During the boot camp, that's what we go over. So hopefully that makes sense. Who asked that question? Damien? Hopefully that makes sense. And you can sketch it out, right? Hey, Mr. Miss Smith, I totally understand, right? Feel, felt, found, right? You guys already know that. If you guys don't know how to answer objections correctly in the beginning, make sure you watch my video, the 3 Fs, feel, felt, found. Because you can sketch it out too, right? $60,000. Yeah, that sounds like a lot, right, Mr. Smith? That's what I thought too when I first got started. But this is what I found. Sketch it out. If you stay with the local utility company right now, you're paying about $275 a month, you know, minus the 4% increase. And keep in mind, you agree, right, that the prices of electricity is going up about 4% every single month, every single year, right? Yeah, I agree. Okay, great. So if you sketched it all out, if you multiplied what they're currently paying for right now, and you multiply that within 25 years, it's going to be more than the 60 grand. And what do they have to show for it? Then ask them, what do you have to show for that, Mr. Smith? Let me ask you this. Let me just back up a little bit. How long have you been buying electricity? Oh, 20 years. What do you have to show for that? Because if I do the calculations, 20 years at $175 an average, you've already spent $45,000 so far. So far. What do you have to show for that, Mr. Smith? There has to be a light bulb moment that turns on. Does that make sense? Awesome, awesome. What's up, Alan? Steven. I'd rather own my power than rent it. Absolutely. Absolutely, Steven. Just like I always let the homeowner know, just like how you purchased your home, right? You purchased it because you pay a mortgage, so eventually it'll be yours. So why are you renting your energy? Hello. Does that make sense, guys? Absolutely, Alan. You get a price that never changes ever again, right? Ever. And in all these values, name all the value. Boom, 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 boom. Here's the value. Let me ask you this. If you stay with a local utility company, they offer you all this value. Are they going to increase your property value if you decide to sell your home at 4+%? Did they give you, a discount or a lower rate, right? Or did they lock it in? Or did they give you an opportunity after a certain amount of time to actually own your energy so you don't have to pay them anymore? Mic drop. Hey, Sean, is it best to go door to door starting off or get into social media? Great question. I talked about that in the beginning. Door to door is the fastest way you're going to make money because social media, you got to think about it as like a plant, right? I'm going to go to extreme analogy, just like a mustard seed, right? Mustard seed is like that tiny. It's like that tiny, right? But you put it into the soil. Eventually, when it grows up, it's humongous, but it takes a little bit of time, right? Same exact thing with social media. Obviously, it's not going to take you years, right? But it takes time. So in the meantime, go knock on doors, go close some deals because you're going to need money. Because learning how to do social media marketing, you're not going to get it for free, right? First and foremost, let you guys know, you're not going to get it for free. All the strategies that I've used over the years, we spent probably over $100,000, right? Learning all these strategies. So because I'm not saying your financial situation, a lot of folks that are starting out, they don't have the funds to invest in themselves, which is fine. And I've been there, right? So my suggestion is go knock on some doors, go make some money, and then from there, reinvest that money into yourself. Learn social media marketing because at the end of the day, when you do social media, keep in mind that you have to pay Mr. Zuckerberg some money, right? If you're doing Facebook ads, you have to pay for that. So have a nest egg of cash. Because a lot of folks, what they do is the total opposite, and it's total success for failure, right? It's a total recipe, not success for that. I don't think that even makes sense. That's a recipe for failure. Does that make sense? If you do it the other way around, you'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna knock on doors. I'm gonna go straight to social media. If you don't have money, I've been blessed enough to have some cash when I first got started. And don't get me wrong, we didn't have that much cash, but I was sucking it up, right? Taking courses after courses, running Facebook ads. I spent about $30,000+ in a short period of time. But when we were blessed enough to have the cash. But imagine if you don't have the cash, if you don't have money in the bank, and you're using your rent money, right? And you're using your rent money to run ads, or not even ads, to take courses, you're setting yourself up for failure, right? And I don't want to do that to anyone. Make sure you go out there, go canvas, go build up a pipeline, make some money, and then from there, reinvest. That can take a month, that could take 2 months, but that's the best way to set all you guys up for success. Does that make sense? So at least there's a light at the end of the tunnel. If you're knocking on doors, maybe you don't like it right now, but on the side, when you're not knocking on doors and when you're not closing deals, work on your social media game. Does that make sense? But it takes investment. Does that make sense, Sean? Absolutely, Tori. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good pitch. All you need is 5 to 7 good people. Those will feed you. Are you talking about sales rep, Alan, or are you talking about 5 to 7 homeowners? Again, if you guys haven't registered for the boot camp, make sure you guys register for the boot camp. It's coming quickly, right? September 28th is right around the corner. Make sure you guys register for it. It's absolutely free. I'm going to go ahead and post the link here again. And I'd love to see you guys in the boot camp if you guys want to dive in deeper. Yeah, absolutely. 5 to 7 homeowners, absolutely. I mean, if you're making a $5,000 commission on an average on, 5 homeowners, that's 25 grand, right? But keep in mind too, there's commission and there's, there's potential commission, right? And there's actual commission that comes into your wallet, right? Because I see a lot of guys out there like, oh, I close like, $100,000, right? I'm making 100 grand. Not necessarily. You know what I mean? It all depends on when that glass gets on the rooftop. It dictates when you get paid, how much you get paid, right? So build up the pipeline, build it as big as you can, right? You need a constant flow of about 5 to 6 deals every single month, and you have like 2 installs, right? Maybe 3. If you got like 6 deals that you're closing every month and they're fairly solid, you're going to install about 3 plus, 3 plus every single month, right? That's going to sustain you, right? Because the 7 deals, as you guys may or may not know, if you close 7 deals today, you're not getting paid necessarily for 7 deals, right? You're going to have to build up the pipeline. You're going to have to wait whatever the lead time is to get paid, whether it's 2 weeks, whether it's 4 weeks, whether it's 6 weeks, and then all that will come to fruition. But you're going to have to keep on closing deals, right? I know guys that close like 10 deals in a month, and next month they're not closing too many, right? But you have to be consistent at it so you can have a consistent revenue flow, right, of deals being installed. Does that make sense, everyone? Sean's been doing solar for about 3 weeks. Welcome to the industry, Sean. And now getting a lot better. Awesome. Because iron sharpens iron, right? And that's what we do with our Solar University students is we're training every day, right? We're training just like a professional, right? If you guys want to be elite solar pros, and I'm pretty sure you guys want that, right? You have to train every day. Just like, football players, soccer players, any athlete, golf, anything. If you see somebody in the top of their game, they're practicing every day. Not only that, they're practicing the right methodologies, right? Because you could practice the wrong methodologies all day long and still get really poor results, right? Does that make sense? You could practice all day, but if you got the wrong strategies, you're still going to get really poor results. So it's practicing the right strategies every single day, right? Every day. Does that make sense? What do you think is a good number of appointments closed per week or month? Ideally, you should be closing at least 3 or 4, even 5 every single month, right? So that means when I tell my students, that's 100 people you need to reach out to. That's 100 people at the door that you're speaking to, not just knocking on the door, right? That you're speaking to, 100 people on the phone that you're speaking to. Because out of that 100, I want to say like 10% of that will sit down for an appointment with you, right? 100. And that's not that many. If you think about it, 100 people to speak to, whether on the phone or even at the door, that's like 25 in a week. That's like 5 a day, right? If you break it up, that's like 5 a day. If you're speaking to 5 people every single day, you're gonna hit those numbers, right? You're gonna get at least 10 homeowners to sit down with you, and you're gonna close about 3 or 4 of those. Does that make sense? What's up, boss? What's up, boss hog? So boss hog, hey James, I would like to eventually create a self-sustainable homestead someday. How much power plus battery would I need? Invest to make I can make power in my house for a year. Not sure, Mr. Boss Hog, but what you can do is email support@solaruniversity.com. I wouldn't know right on the top of my head. That's why we have a software that we use to calculate your usage. Based on your usage, our software will determine how many panels you need. So email support@solaruniversity.com. That's solar, SOLAR, university, YOUNIVERSITY, right? University.com. What's up, Sean? You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Other than that, make sure that you register for the bootcamp. If you haven't scheduled your solar strategy call, make sure you do that as well. SolarStrategyCall.com. We'll love to jump on the phone with you. And other than that, you guys have an amazing weekend. Make sure you guys are practicing, right? And again, make sure you're practicing the right thing. You don't want to practice the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Make sure you practice the right thing. So other than that, you guys have an amazing day. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Boss Hog. Thank you, Steve. Super excited to see all you guys here and taking your time out of your busy schedule to be here. Again, if you guys want to dive in deeper, make sure you join the 5daybootcamp.com. And if you know anyone that can benefit from this training, share it with them as well. And one last favor, make sure you like this video, share this video, so this video gets shared to all of our solar family out there. Other than that, have an amazing, amazing weekend. Stay safe, everyone. Peace.